And we are live with devlog 1. So, first 15 days, zero knowledge, 10 out of 10 anxiety, a kick-ass game concept, and clueless on where to start. This is going to be a fun ride. So, let's start from the beginning. Mid-month, I get this idea in my head that I want to learn Unreal Engine 5. My partner points out that I've had access to Skillshare for about a whole year, and I've decided to wait until just a few days before the subscription expires. But what can I say? Passion is passion, and yeah. So I spend my first 3 days doing a few tutorials, nothing mind-blowing as you can see. But I was able to learn about metahumans, did a subpar environment and foliage exercise just to dip my feet in, and in general was just moving around the engine, trying to get familiar with the layout of where everything kind of is. The thing that frankly sucks about most tutorials I've tried to follow is that they're either outdated, the engine has released something new and completely changed things around, or the assets they're using are no longer available for free, or actually, one more point, the most frustrating fact is that when you move from one tutor to another, their build styles are so different that you pretty much have to start from scratch. That takes us to day 4. No motivation to learn, but I felt I would do a bit of research. Quotations on research. I pretty much spent all day playing Schedule 1. Shout out to Tyler and all the cool things he's doing over at TVGS. On the 5th day is where everything kind of shifted. I did this tutor by Gorka Games, and although there were a lot of challenges, and I now know that I'm going to take a completely different approach to my game design, I did finish his tutorial, and that's when it dawned on me. I can actually do this. That motivation sprung me into this next week of creative euphoria. I spent a whole day building a small village and roaming around it like I was a kid in a candy shop. The entire time dreaming up world lore, the game mechanics that I wanted to include in the game, and I then shared it with my missus, fingers crossed, and she was super supportive and excited, which made me realize that this might actually have a bit of substance to it. Here I am planning this giant open world, which is exactly the thing that all developers want to do when they first start out, but everyone advises you against it for your first project. So reality sets in, and I rein in all my expectations, and I decide to encompass this game into a single village. Alright, with scope set, we finally landed on our name for the city and game. Misthelm, Copper to Crown. So I have this name, I love it, and to our surprise, the domain name is available, and so are all the social media names. So then we frantically spend about the second week securing all the names all over the internets. And during this time, I had to put out about 3 fires that were totally unexpected, made a few random posts, including the intro video for this YouTube channel, tried my best to make our website look professional, ordered a few pieces of gear, created a mailing list, and started to brainstorm my approach for kind of where I would start, because this is an uphill battle for sure. Alright, so with almost about a week of behind-the-scenes stuff handled before I could actually get back into my passion project, I am now relieved that I can now start watching tutorials again, and I even discovered the game engine's documentation, which to any dev out there is probably laughing that I had no clue that this existed. But hey, I'm new to this, what did I know? But for those that don't know, every game engine seems to have documentation, and this is basically the user manual that the actual designers of the engine create and publish out. So technically you can read through the manual and know how to use that game engine. It's pretty big though, but just kind of saying. Starting to look back at this last 2.5 weeks or so, I've been able to get slightly familiar with designing the basic main menu, designing a basic environment, a character that stands around in idle, has animation, and is able to walk, is able to jump, interacts with items like opening doors and picks up items in the game world. And just as I'm editing this video, I spent today learning about making my character crouch and run while holding down keys or toggling keys, which might not sound like a big deal, but it kind of was a stumble block to get past. In wrapping up this vlog, I want to share one last thing.
Hi guys.
My special person has been spending parts of her free time drafting our characters, which is a huge help because out of the two of us, she's the more artistic one. Here's a peek. Hope you enjoyed this first vlog. We plan to release videos in a monthly series. Be sure to check out our other socials and website, as there are other ways to keep updated with Misthelm in the meantime. And looking forward to sharing our continued progress of Misthelm Copper to Crown in our next dev vlog. And we're out!